My name is Jason King. I'm the wing leader of the Commemorative Air Force Mississippi Wing, and welcome to our new home. We have been located across the airfield for the past 30 years, and with the collaboration with the city, we have continued our success and continue to remember our veterans and educate the public in what we do. And this is the product of that. We also want to thank the Trail of Honor for allowing us to help kick off this weekend with activities. Everybody's been working really hard, vigorously to get, well, hold on. To get everything up to date. We also hope that everybody has a fun evening, entertaining evening, and most of all, that we honor our veterans here today. We also have a lot of veterans from World War II all the way up to the current Iraq-Afghanistan war, and I encourage each and every one of you to take a moment out of your time and go up to them and thank them for their service. I do want to point out one aspect. Mr. Tanksley, a World War II B-29 gunner, we found out this morning passed away. He was intended to be here. His family was intended to be here, but unfortunately they've had to go home and take care of things. I would like to ask if everyone would stand up, please. Remove your hats. And let's pause for a moment of silence for him. Thank you. You may have a seat. Wonderful. I'm just getting word that Gail, Mr. Tankersley's daughter, is here. Do you mind standing up, please? Gail. Thank you for attending. Like I said before, a brief history into the Mississippi Wing. We have been located again at this airfield for the past 30 years. And from my knowledge, we have put 2 aircraft back into service, Beech 18 and our current Stinson 10A back over here. As an organization, we try to bring life back into these aircraft to educate the next generations of the sacrifices that our veterans have made. The greatest gift that we could give is to allow the public to get up and close personal to these aircraft so that the legacy of what they have built lives on. This facility you sit in gives us an opportunity to bring in larger aircraft, hold in larger events, and house larger museum space to tell everyone else, the general public, the legacy in which they leave behind. The facility also is a confirmation of the city of Madison and the Commemorative Air Force's resolve and to honor our veterans and educate the future generations. Legacy of our veterans is a personal story, a personal experience that really needs to be told in a personal way. That of the Trail of Honor and that of the Commemorative Air Force bring aircraft and reconnect the personal stories on a personal level. The Commemorative Air Force's Mississippi Wing is excited to take part in today's activities and the weekend to honor our veterans, but even more, to have a new facility in which we can continue to honor our veterans on a daily basis. I now would like to introduce to you Congressman Greg Harper, U.S. House of Representatives for the 3rd Congressional District. He serves on the Energy Commerce Committee, House Administration Committee, Chairman of the Joint Committee on Printing, Vice Chairman of the Joint Committee on Library of Congress. Congressman Harper is also a major advocate for our military and veterans, sitting on caucuses of the United States Air Force, Army Aviation, National Guard and Reserve components, Veterans Caucus, Travel Tourism, and Wounded to Work Caucus. Without further ado, I present to you Congressman Greg Harper.
Thank you so much, and what a great turnout for this special event, and to look around the room and see so many heroes. And if you don't know who's next to you, they may very well be one of those heroes. So take the opportunity to visit. And this is a special weekend to be for the Trail of Honor, and for this part here to dedicate and be here for this special occasion, for this hangar, for the Commemorative Air Force. And you know, seeing these planes behind me, wow, it really inspires you. But I look around the room, I see, on my own staff, Larry Wirtz standing back here, Marine Vietnam helicopter pilot, and I see Earl Darrington and his lovely wife, who World War II veteran. He was a prisoner of war, and I don't know of anybody that's done more for our veterans in this country, particularly in this state, than Earl has. Let's give him a big hand for all that he's done. You know, you've got an opportunity to get up close and see some special aircraft, visit with friends, but at the end of the day, we know that when it comes to serving this country and for patriotism, nobody steps up like Mississippi does. You may not know that the youngest person killed in the Alamo was from Cotton Gin Port, Mississippi. And 8 Mississippians died in the Alamo. And you can go back throughout our history and see where our people have stepped up. We also have a number of incredible special heroes in this room, some Medal of Honor recipients. Would you raise your hand? If you're one of our Medal of Honor recipients, please raise your hand where we can give you a big hand. Thank you. You know, it's okay to take pride in our country and our history and the great heroes that we've had. And there are many of them coming along that will also make us proud. There's never been a country like America. And I'm one who believes, too, that one of the reasons God has blessed America over the years is we've always held the nation of Israel close. And we've gotten away from that some, and that can't continue. We need to send that message to people all over the world, to those countries. You know, war has changed. It used to be in World War I, World War II, other wars that we had, you knew who the bad guys were. They were defined by borders. Now they're not. And let's not be afraid to call our enemy who our enemy is. Right now we're fighting a war around the globe against fundamentalist Islamic terrorists who seek to destroy us. And I will tell you that there is nothing about Sharia law that's compatible with American democracy. Let's stand up and fight our enemy wherever they may be. Enjoy this great day. It's an honor to be here with you. God bless America.
Thank you. Our next presenter, I would like to introduce Dr. Sid Bondurant. He's a legislative liaison to our governor, Honorable Phil Bryant. Dr. Bondurant is a licensed physician as well as a Mississippi legislator and an officer in the United States Navy. Dr. Sid Bondurant.
Thank you, Jason. I bring you greetings from Governor Phil Bryant. He regrets that he was unable to be here today. The governor had a previous commitment on the coast and was unable to be here, but I guarantee you this is the type of event the governor would really want to be at if it were at all possible. The governor has always been a great supporter of veterans programs in the state. We have a very active state Veterans Affairs Board that is there to help veterans. He has me as his legislative assistant. I'm also the policy advisor for Veterans Affairs in the office, and the governor has said on more than one occasion that he feels that the state really has never adequately recognized or welcomed home the Vietnam vets, and he wants to be sure that we do everything that we can in state government to make sure that those vets are welcomed home and know that their service was appreciated. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I don't have any other prepared remarks other than to say that if you do have a veterans issue that you feel the governor's office needs to be aware of, write the governor. it'll end up on my desk, but write the governor, and we'll do everything we can to help you with resolve that. It's one of the things that he feels is one of his highest priorities as governor. There are over 60,000 Vietnam vets in Mississippi, and I've heard from about maybe 20,000 of them. So I appreciate your being here, and thank you for coming.
The next, I would like to introduce you to the President of the Commemorative Air Force, Steve Brown. Steve is president of the organization that maintains the most historically airworthy fleet at over 160 aircraft. Steve has been president and CEO of the CAF for nearly a decade now, and is a continued enthusiastic and passionate leader to educate future generations of the contributions of military aviation. Steve Brown.
Thank you, Jason. And welcome to the new home of the Commemorative Air Force. And thank you to the city and the mayor and all the aldermen for making this possible. As Jason said, we're the largest flying military aviation museum in the world with 165 airplanes. We have 13,000 volunteer members. And they're scattered, our airplanes are scattered in 25 states in 60 physical locations, and this is our location here in Mississippi. But these airplanes that you see that have the wings on them, those are operated and taken on by the care and feeding of the volunteers. With the members of the Commemorative Air Force that are here, raise your hand, please. If you look around, these members are responsible for keeping these airplanes flying. I have a paid staff of 25 or 30, but the people that keep these 165 airplanes flying are volunteer members. And so you can join, become a part of this membership to help keep these airplanes flying. Education such that Americans understand and value the freedoms that were brought forth by military aviation. That's our mission. And we're happy to do it here in Madison. I also want to give a shout out and thanks to the Sky Soldiers. I'm a former Army officer and military helicopter aviator. So thanks guys for bringing in. I was a Huey and 58 driver in Germany, and so I'm happy to have the Rotary Wing amongst us. And so thank you for being here today. Next I want to introduce our mayor. And you know, I didn't know the mayor before today, and so I asked my team to get me a list of you know, a little bit about her, a bio, and this is her accomplishments, and it was so small that I didn't have glasses strong enough to read because there's so many accomplishments on here. But the one thing that I won't read all her accomplishments or we'd be here all day, but the one thing I did notice that was amazing to me that she's been the mayor now for 9 consecutive 4-year terms, which means she must have been the first teenage mayor of Madison. So with that, I'll introduce Mary Hawkins Butler, our mayor. Thank you.
He deserves a hug for that. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am so humbled to stand in front of so many heroes. There are no words. Thank you is not enough. There's no way that we can thank you for all you have given and all the sacrifices that you have made for our freedom. How truly, truly blessed we are in this country that we can still stand up in the USA and congratulate our veterans and to hold them dear and say, it's because of you our country is great. And that is so absolutely true. It's wonderful that we can be part of the celebration of the Trail of Honor. And I hear how it's grown through the years. And it's really something to see. And I'd like to congratulate the CAF. It's hard to believe it's been 30 years since we first broke ground here. But this facility is very important to the history, not just of Madison, but for the whole country. Because it symbolizes the battles, the wars, and the struggles and the sacrifices that have been made to make America great. And this facility will serve as a constant reminder to our children of what happened to give them their freedom and their community and their country. And these planes have been parked on the runway and the taxiway through the years. We see fathers and mothers crossing Old Canton Road, bringing their children here to look and see that these were warplanes. This is what was used to fight for the freedom and fight for what was right. And the greatest generals of all that have gone before have caused that to happen just for them. When you can look at a child and say, you know what, look at that. Someone loved you enough, even though they didn't even know who you were, to get on that plane and go to a foreign land to say, America reigns and it's the greatest country. And that's why we're free. And forever, under this canopy and in this facility, there will be a museum for all to share what has gone on. And I'd like to quote Ronald Reagan. He said, "If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape. This is the last stand on earth." In 1964, that was his quote. And it was true then, and it's just as true today. We must fight to continue to keep America great, because you have invested your life and your future in something that was totally unknown in America's dream. And to the CAF, thank you for the vision and saying we're going to make our mark and we're going to do our part to protect the history of the great ones. And I'd like to thank the Board of Aldermen for supporting the CAF. I'd like for you to stand, please. And we have our own hero, Colonel Steve Hickok. We love you. God bless you all. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done. God bless. Ooh. And with that, we are going to have a ribbon cutting, correct?
May I have any officers of the CAF and CAF members present to come up to the front as well? Can I have the Board of Aldermen as well come up? just real quick in conclusion, we would definitely like to thank you for taking time out to join us. Especially like to thank the Director of Trail of Honor, Earl and Dave. There's Earl, Dave. Thank you very much for entrusting us to host tonight's event with the veterans here present. I'd also like to thank, here they come right now.